Hi guys, what is up? It's your girl Karen, aka cakedbybabyk, and welcome back to my channel. I truly have so many things to talk about, and I'm honestly very, very excited, albeit I know it's going to be a tad confusing to kind of voice my thoughts into actual words for you guys, but I'm gonna try my best while also doing my full makeup routine. So grab a snack and stay tuned because I want to yap. I want to gab. I want to talk. So if you follow me on Instagram, I have been talking recently about not knowing what to do creatively when it comes to my content. I feel like I have been stuck in sort of a limbo for the past few years where I just don't feel like how I used to feel when I started creating content. And don't get me wrong, I am so grateful for this job. I absolutely love creating content, but I feel like the passion for it has just dwindled. And as a result of that, I just feel like I'm floundering. I have been a creator for almost 8 years, and I feel like being in this space for so long has honestly distorted my perception of reality. I'm doing things and I have accomplished things that 2016 me would have killed to experience. And while I'm super grateful for this experience, a part of me feels somewhat desensitized to all of it. And I feel like that's because once you make this your full-time career and your main source of income, you're just constantly waiting for the next big thing. And to be completely transparent, I feel a twinge of hatred for how I am receiving all these opportunities and how I find myself feeling about certain things when it comes to this career. Side note, I'm trying out this new Milk Hydro Grip Glowing Primer? Glow Primer. Grip and Glow Primer. But as I was saying, I feel myself growing so ungrateful for the opportunities and the things that I wanted so badly when I first started out, and I don't like it. I feel, for lack of a better word, icky. I feel not like my true authentic self. And I think this is coming up during a time where I'm actively working to heal myself through so many means. I have been in therapy, I've started seeing a psychiatrist, I've started taking medication. So all of this has just really come to the forefront after I've done months, honestly years, of trying to heal my relationship with myself. Honestly, I was expecting this to be a bit glowier and a little bit tackier. But to give you guys a tangible example, I get a ton of PR packages now, and I am still very, very grateful. I am very grateful to the brands who believe in me enough to send me product. Okay, now we're talking with the glowiness. But with all the PR packages, I feel so overwhelmed. At this point, it feels more like a chore, and I know that sounds so privileged and ungrateful and entitled to say, but that part of the job really does not feel fulfilling or exciting for me anymore. It legitimately used to feel like Christmas Day every single time I would get a package, and now I just let the packages pile and pile and pile up to where I don't really even want to open them. And I think a large part of why I feel that way is because of my anxiety and because of my ADHD. Recently got diagnosed with that one and OCD, so that's another update for you. But I even mentioned this in one of my unboxings on here recently, where it just feels so over-consuming to the point where I just don't really want to receive packages anymore. You know how people say that too much of a good thing can end up being a bad thing? That is how I feel about the over-consuming nature of being a beauty creator. We get tons and tons of product, the majority of which I can't even use or try because I just have so much. And as much as I try to explain that I am still very grateful and I am very privileged and happy that this is my job, that I get these opportunities, it still comes across as ungrateful. I even got a comment on that unboxing where I was trying to justify me saying all of these things, and someone said, yeah, you seem ungrateful. And I couldn't even be that upset about it because there was truth to that. So tying this back into my previous point, I just don't like this version of myself that I've become, where I've just become so desensitized to a lot of the good things that happen to me because I'm just wanting to chase the next big opportunity, the next big thing. I feel like in becoming a full-time creator, I have lost a lot of the passion that I have for creating and a lot of the passion that I have for beauty. Let's make you a little bit brighter. And that is a point that I never, ever, ever thought that I would get to. Dwight is meowing. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna let him in because I think he wants cuddles. Okay, here's my precious baby that was meowing for me to let him in. You're just gonna lay down. Yeah, you're gonna lay down right here, huh? Anyways, as I was saying, I have really just been struggling for, honestly, the past year or so about whether or not I want to keep doing this as a full-time job or get another job or go back to a 9-to-5. And I actually have been back to a 9-to-5, technically, for the last 3 months. I was doing some consulting work for an agency who works with a I don't know if I should say the company, who works with a pretty well-known company. More on if I can share about that later, but it was a very, very exciting project. So I technically was back at a 9-to-5 for the last 3 months, and it really did give me a lot of perspective back. You know, I came from a 9-to-5 and I was at a 9-to-5 before I decided to do content creation full time. And I think just being back in that environment, even though I was working from home, being back in that environment just really made me a lot more grateful for the freedom that I do have as a self-employed creator. That was very spotty because I'm almost out of this. Now my contract has since ended and I'm back to doing this full time, and it just really is making me reconsider a lot of aspects of this job. A big factor that was at the forefront of my mind when I was kind of reevaluating everything was just the fact that I used to be so passionate and I had so much fun creating. I used to do the most creative makeup looks. I'll insert the stuff that I used to do, and that is what got me into this industry. Creating intricate makeup looks and doing in-depth tutorials, doing long-form content, which I have not done consistently in years because short-form content has blown up so much. And I feel like as a creator who doesn't have millions of followers, you really have to ride the wave of social media and just do what majority of people want to see and what majority of people are doing. Of course, I love TikTok and I love short form content in general, but I think now over time it just has diminished my attention span so much, and it has diminished so much nuance and detail that I put into creating these videos, because everybody just wants the main points. They want to know about the next viral products, and all of the care and the detail is virtually almost all gone. And what I was talking about on my Instagram stories is I'm really trying to find my passion again, and I've done a lot of things to try and rectify the situation and find my way back to my old self. Another big update is that I'm now self-managed. I'm not sure if you guys were aware, but I had a manager for the last 2 years, and I am just so grateful for all the opportunities that being with the manager brought my way. There's just so many more connections and so much more networking that can happen when you are signed with an agency. But unfortunately, there is also a level of disconnect when it comes to communicating with brands and networking as a creator yourself, because all that communication goes through your agency or your manager. And yeah, you can be looped in, but it's just not as personable and it's not as intimate as doing it yourself. I'm someone who thrives off of human connection. I love networking. I think it's one of my strong suits. That was a major change that I made recently, and that was not an easy decision. I grappled with this for months, but my contract was coming to an end and I just decided not to extend it. And this is something that I told my manager when I parted ways with her. I just am not sure how I can move forward, because this time in my life and period I feel stuck in such a limbo. I'm still very much deciding whether or not I want to go back to a 9-to-5 or just be a full-time creator, and I am someone who likes to commit to something 110%, so I felt like even with this consulting gig that I had for the last 3 months, I felt like I had one foot in each realm. And that's ultimately what I told my manager. I feel like I just need to take a step back from everything and just reevaluate where I want to go in the future when it comes to all this career stuff. So for the time being, I am going to be self-managed, and that's if I even want to continue taking on deals for the rest of the year. I don't think I've mentioned this, but I have not taken a sponsorship in, I want to say, 4 to 5 months. And while I think that's a testament to how much I genuinely just love creating without return, this is still my full-time gig, so going that long without income, it's kind of stressful. That honestly is the main gist of what I've been thinking lately, and this is just one facet in a huge picture of stuff that's going on in my life right now. You want to go outside now? Please hold. Okay, you can go outside. Come on. There you go. Okay. If you guys only knew a fraction of what was going on in my life right now, not to hype myself up, but I truly think most people go insane. I'm going insane half the time. A lot of it does have to do with my mental health, so let me know if you guys want an in-depth YouTube video on that, because I am happy to share. I just shared yesterday on Instagram via like a photo dump, and it honestly felt really cathartic to just let everything out in the open. I think being a creator online who shares your life and being like a public figure, it comes with a lot of nuance and a lot of decision making when it comes to what you share. And I know most people don't want to talk about the negative parts of their lives, because who wants to be a downer on social media? Me. I'll tell you guys about all the stuff I'm going through, because honestly, I just feel so fed up with social media in general. It's a highlight reel, and that's okay, but I feel like a lot of people are just forgetting about that aspect. So I feel like it is somewhat my duty as a content creator to kind of shed more light on those harder to talk about topics, because I currently am going through it heavily, and I know other people are. So let me know if y'all want a longer story time on all of that, because I feel like I could talk for hours about that aspect. Okay, it's time for browse. Don't look at me. But all of that to say, I feel like I'm going to start diving back into YouTube more, because that's originally what I wanted to do when I started creating content. I miss the artistry, I miss the details, I miss the comparisons, I miss the tutorials. And I think I'm just coming to terms with the fact that even though you have to ride the wave of social media, you also have to stay true to yourself and do what you want to do. And honestly, that's advice for any aspect of life. So just a little update on that. I say little as if I didn't just talk your ear off. Please expect more YouTube videos from me. Also saying that to hold myself accountable. And I think going forward, I'm just gonna put majority of my efforts into long form content. Of course, I'm still gonna be posting on Instagram and TikTok, but I really am gonna try and give it my all to put majority of my efforts into here. I'm not gonna lie, this past month has been really difficult for me emotionally. I'm going through so many personal things while also trying to plan a wedding. And even through these personal things, I feel like it has forced me to gain a lot of perspective, and I just feel like I'm in a new phase of life. If you have watched up until this point, I love you, and you might as well subscribe. Lots and lots more yapping to come. This is the finished makeup look, minus a lip, because we're going out to eat, but thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, thumbs up, all that good, and I will see you guys in my next one, which is probably coming soon.